Hello, Namaste, Sasrikal, good evening. Welcome to the S.S.Chandhok talk show. I'm your host and moderator, S.S.Chandhok. Today is a beautiful evening. It's drizzling outside, and hopefully, the weather will be also good. And always, we are into the process of thinking positive as we are teachers. Today, we have gathered here with a very special eminent guest from the different parts of the country and talking about coding. We know very well that the future is of coding, and without coding, nothing is going to exist. Without taking any time, I'll introduce you to the very special and eminent guest present over here, my favorite, Dr. Trilok Singh Bish sir. He is a very eminent personality. He doesn't need any introduction. He is versatile. जम्मू वाले लोग जहाँ जम्मू होके आते हैं तो इतने वर्सेटाइल हो जाते हैं कि राजेश राठौर सर and Randan sir, you are also very fond of singing, I know, sir. Roy sir. So lively people are there in Jammu. Sir, I had been principal in Jammu also for so many years. Thank you so much, Trilok sir, for joining us once again. It's a pleasure always having you on the show, sir. Although you don't need any introduction, but still the people who will be looking to the show, they will like to know about your educational journey, sir. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, everyone, and good evening, Dr. Chandhok. It's always a pleasure coming here to your show, and the simplicity which you keep and maintain throughout. That's the beauty of the show. My educational journey, I'll speak in a short because I've said it in the previous,
I think there is some technical problem. Sir, Trilok sir, are you there?
Seems like light went there.
No problem, sir. He'll come back. I think there is some light problem. Trilok sir, can you hear us? What happens to everyone when there is no internet connection? Or think ऐसा लगता है कि दिल गायब हो गया है. Heartless, we have become heartless. और phone गायब हो गया तो दिमाग भी चला गया. So this is about technology. Okay, by the time Trilok sir is coming back, let's come up to the very famous personality of India and abroad. From India, from Lucknow to Sri Lanka and all the other countries also. Dr. Dheeraj Malhotra, a very big pranam to you, sir. You are such a renowned personality that so many books you have written which I have not read even during my school life. So, and coding is just like peanuts for you. You also have written so many books on computers, sir. Sir, please, sir, you have a very versatile experience from schools again to the industry, then again to the schools. Whatever you are playing, that badminton, volleyball, or badminton, you're playing from both the sides. Both the sides, the player is the same, Dr. Dheeraj Malhotra. So I have been.
I think my friend Mr. Trilok has joined. Let him complete his introduction, then I'll take it forward.
Sure, sir, sure.
Chandhok, I'm so sorry for the first time.
No problem,
I don't know, but there was a power failure in my society which doesn't happen normally.
Sir, that is not your fault, sir. That is also technology, sir. Don't worry. Sir, over to you, Trilok, sir. Again, there is something problem.
Gurwal University, masters also from there, then BEd from Annamalai University. And I started my career in 1989 from Doon International School, Lakhimpur Kheri. And that has been my first school in Paliakala, where I started my teaching. In 92, I joined Scholars Home Dehradun. From 92 to 2004, I was there. 2004, again, I joined at Doon International School as a principal till 2010. Then 2010 to 12, I was in Unison World School as a dean. Then 12 to 19 was in Jodhamal Public School in Jammu as a principal. And now I'm as a principal of Delhi Public School, Ghaziabad, Vasundhara. I had enjoyed my journey throughout because I believe the whole life is a learning process. Till the time you have urge to learn, you never become old. Maybe the gray hairs start pouring in, the teeth might be start falling off, but the heart remains very young because we are with the young children, and children give us the energy altogether. With these words, without saying much about myself, I'm just a lifelong learner, I would say, not even a principal. I'm the chief learning officer of the school, where learning starts, and everybody has to keep learning. Thank you, Dr. Chandok.
Thank you so much, sir. Wonderful, wonderful. The like the person you are, the like is your, the way of speaking and talking also so humble and kind, sir. Thank you so much, sir, once again for joining the show. Dheeraj, sir, will come back to you, sir. From next education to, I mean, what all, and 100 books, 200 books, sir. I mean, how you're doing that 24 into 7, or how many hours you have in a day. You are reaching everywhere also. You are reaching everywhere physically also everywhere, sir. Hats off to you, sir. Hats off to your energy level also, sir. Over to you, sir. Dheeraj, sir.
Thank you, sir, and thank you to Lok sir for being here, and always a pleasure listening to you. I believe in learning to learn as a priority rather than an occasional occurrence. And being a learner, as I said, I'm presently holding a responsibility of being a principal at a school in Lucknow. Yes, from corporate world, I've served for around 10 years from GEMS education to next education, and I've been into school education for more than 30 years now. And of course, I was honored with the National Teacher Award by the President of India in 2005 while I was working as head total quality management in education at City Montessori School, Lucknow. In addition, I've authored few books, and also my Udemy courses are available. And in addition, I have worked for some educational apps, and keeping that pace in view, I recognized into the Limca Book of Records and India Book of Records. This is just one of the process which I follow is to be with people of similar nature so that I learn and try to implement my learning in the best at my workplace. Thank you very much.
Sir, you are a national awardee also. And how many books you have written, sir?
It's more than 100.
More than 100. That's wonderful. That's wonderful, sir. Hats off to you, sir.
Thank you.
Hats off to you, sir. So versatile energy level. I always follow you when it comes to energy level and working also, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Dheeraj, sir, for joining us once again. Hope to
My
have a good
pleasure.
session today. Next, we have Dr. Jyoti Sirohi, ma'am. She is the principal of Delhi World Public School, Ghaziabad. Welcome, Jyoti, ma'am, once again after a long time. Happy to see you. Ma'am,
Uh,
please, ma'am. Please let us know about your educational journey, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Chandok, for giving this opportunity. And this is the third time I'm joining this talk show. And I would just, in a very short, I would like to tell you this is my 23rd year of my career. And I started my career from Masuri International School. It is in Masuri. Then I joined City Montessori, Lucknow. It was a wonderful experience working with Bharti Gandhi, Jagdish Gandhi, and Dr. Kamran. And uh, I worked there along with Dheeraj sir also. He was also the part of that. But as I joined, he just moved ahead for his wonderful journey. And then I came to Meerut. I joined DPS. And from there, I got an opportunity. Uh, in 2010, I got an opportunity to be the principal of another school. So this is my 10th year. 2012 I got the opportunity, and this is 2022. This is my 10th year of principalship, and I worked in three schools. I worked in BIT Global. I worked in Shamrock Shamford, that is of the Meenal Arora and Amol Arora ji. It was also a good setup. And now I am working in a Delhi World Public School. It is near Ghaziabad.
That's wonderful, ma'am. You have also have a plenty of experience as an administrator and schooling and school teacher
But
also.
what, sir, is that we are still learning. We are the learners. So many things are there in this sector, education
Yes,
sector,
ma'am.
that we always, the eyes, mind, and everything should be open to learn and accept the things.
Absolutely right, ma'am. Life is a learning process. You learn till the last breath you take, for sure. Thank you so much and welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Next we have another very eminent personality from Jammu, sir. I think he has lost the connection. By that time, we'll come up to the next guest. We have Nidhi Sirohi, ma'am. She is a principal of a very prestigious and a branded school in Noida, that is GD Goenka Global School. Nidhi, ma'am, welcome. Thank you so much for joining after a long time. Happy to see you.
Thank you. Thank you. Very good evening to all once again. Well, it's absolutely wonderful to be sharing the platform with such eminent educationists, and it only humbles you even further. I would like to give a very brief introduction about myself. Well, I'm an educator by choice, and that's my passion, and probably that was my calling. It ran in the family with my mother also being a teacher. So, right from my childhood, I had seen her, and I used to admire the way she was being a role model, of children and how children would love to learn from her. So, probably that's what I grew with. But as parents would have it, all like all parents, my parents also wanted me to be either a doctor or an IS officer, and very very typical. But here I am, and with I think God has been very very kind. I got into administration pretty early. Have worked with very prestigious schools in Delhi NCR. Having started my career with the Sri Ram School, then I went on to work with the Modern School, Barakamba Road, and the Amity School. And my journey has, by and large, been with startup schools. The startup is a new terminology, but at that point in time, with schools, right from the time they started. So whether it was Amity, even Sri Ram for that matter, when I had joined, it had just started. That's a place I really learned a lot. International in Noida. Then I was the headmistress with Lotus Valley, again in Noida. Went on to become the principal of Kuthari International School in Noida. I was a director of education with the Presidium Group of Schools. And currently, yes, I am with the GT Goenka, again, the founder principal of the school. So, I think, like most of us here today on the panel, because we are so passionate about our jobs, we want to do something new all the time. And when we want to do something new, we want to be creative, that's when we start looking for more opportunities. Because the moment we think that I think we've given enough, and from here we need to re-explore ourselves, and that's when our journey takes a different turn. I am also a very passionate trainer, a motivational speaker, and that's how, in fact, many people like to know me more as a motivational speaker, and trying to guide people as a counselor. So I've been a counselor both for parents, teachers, and even other people. I've been a corporate counselor. I've been certified by Dale Carnegie as a trainer, and worked with the British Council, a lot of it. But at the core, I think I'm a learner. I love to spend time with children, like to make my classrooms. I want them to be absolutely free, where the children can explore themselves. I think we as educators, we just have to be that support, that mentor, But it's a lot that we learn from children, especially the next generation, especially the children of today. And I think today's topic is so very pertinent, when you're talking about technology. And these children, somewhere, I think mutation happens in their genes. So the moment they are born, I think the way they handle devices and gadgets, I think they can give us a run for our money in that particular area. So I look forward to the discussion today, and thank you so much for having me over.
Pleasure is our ma'am. Thank you so much, Nidhi ma'am, for the beautiful introduction. We have so much towards over here today with the experts as a trainer, as in everything. And this is a platform which I have chosen that we should share our ideas. And we know very well, because many principals, when I ask them to come for coding, they say, oh my God, coding. So when you are technology migrant and you talk about coding, तो यार ये हमसे नहीं हो पाएगा, आप आ जाएंगे, give some other topic. So, but again, people will like to come because they know that this is the future. Without this, because we have to train the students for the future, not for today. So that is very important. Yesterday, I think I was talking to Trilok sir or Dheeraj sir also, that that teachers who have studied in the traditional way, the same thing they're forwarding. जो आपने सीखा होता है, वे forward करते हो. They have to be trained a lot, first of all, and the students have to be taught for the for the future. For that, teachers need to be taught first, then it will move to the students. Thank you so much, Nidhi ma'am, for joining us. Next, we have again a very eminent personality from Jammu. Mr. Anandam Roy Chaudhary, sir. He is the principal of GD Goenka Public School, a versatile personality. Anandam, sir, I hope you have joined.
I have joined Trilok, sir, but I think there's a problem with my camera. Like, I'm just trying to, set it
Sir,
up. But
if you are joining from laptop, it's not working, then you can join from mobile, sir.
okay, I'll try that. I shall try that. Okay. Just a
Yeah,
minute.
you can
So
try
shall I
by the
just?
time. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can take
yes.
2 minutes, sir. We will talk
Yes.
about the next guest.
Fine. That's fine.
Next we have Mr. Abhishek Mishra. He's the expert of today. He's the founder and CTO of Preserve Technology. Again, he met me somewhere, and I had a talk with him about the technology and about the robotics and about coding. So because as we are oldies now and we are technology migrants, so I wanted him to let us know that what is coding and what is this about robotics and all, which is a favorite topic of Tilok sir also. And we should understand how we can bring this forward to our kids in a very simple way. He told me so many things that I wanted him to share with you people also, that how can we start coding not only from 11, 12, we can start it from grade 1 even. So without taking any time, Abhishek sir will come up to you first. How did it came to your mind to start up this, technology product as, and please let us know in precise something about coding, how misconceptions we have about robotics or coding and what it is actually. Over to you, Abhishek ji.
Thank you a lot, sir, and a very good evening to everyone. So, first of all, I feel happy to be a part of this show for one of the personal reasons also, because my daughter also studies in GD Goenka School in Goa, and I see two principals here, so I feel good about it actually. So yeah, now coming to the thing, how did we start, sir? So basically, sir, respect sir and ma'am, what happened now? When we started in 2018, what we observed, the way the technology penetration was in our education sector, it was very less. And in the name of technology, we were doing few things, but they were not up to the mark. If I say, if we compare about the West, and the government was also doing a lot of brainstorming towards the NEP, which was also missing in the technology side. So we decided to start something and help the schools throughout the country, which will ultimately help our students to learn new things and coding. Now, as we all are connected here, we can very easily see technology plays a very important role in our day-to-day life. Whatever we do, however small or big task, these technology are a part of it. Be it a medical domain, be it a financial domain, be it educational domain, everywhere. So with that, actually, computers are becoming nowadays part of our life. What we believe are like other subjects, math, science, Hindi, English, we should also start teaching coding to the kids since very early age. By coding, I am not in favor of teaching them or asking them to write the code, C++ or something like that. But it should be a more fun way where they should learn the logical things behind the coding. Because basically, what is the computer or what it does? Computer in layman terms does whatever it is being told to. Computer doesn't. Currently, if I remove the AI, computer doesn't have its own brain. Computer understands a set of sequences, and we give them a set of sequences, and he performs that action repeatedly. He's very good at that. So basically, in order to do those actions, we also need to understand the language which computer understands, like the way we are interacting, because we all know English is a common language. That's why we are able to interact with each other. Similarly, in order to communicate with the computer, we also need to understand the language which computer understands. And that we call coding, what we can coding or computer programming, whatever we can call. Now, so what I was saying, for kids, actually, we should start it from class 1. Not the real programming, but we can start them with the very basic visual programming, where the kids can learn very small things. Like in order to move a cat, I will say just move. So those kind of things, playing with the block and developing the logical ability to how to perform coding in the near future. And once they slowly, gradually grow up, class 6, 7, or 8, they can learn different languages like HTML, C, C++, Python. Further, when they further grow to the advanced stage, they can learn AI and machine learning. And finally, after that, they can also learn robotics and hardware programming, basically. So again, there is some misconfusion about the robotics in India. So basically, this is not to hurt anyone, but generally what we do in name of robotics is simply assemble and disassemble the things. To be more precise, that is not what real robotics. If I analyze or if I say something about robot, I'm thinking something from a human perspective. Like see what we do. Like I am talking with you. My different body parts are doing different things. Like I am seeing all of you in front of camera. I'm also listening to you. My body is also sensing the temperature, surrounding temperature. It's doing n number of small things. So why can't we break robotics into small things actually? Do small to learn small hardware activities like sensor temperature, listen from the microphone, take some user input, listen from the camera, interact to small devices. And once we do those small things now, we get to know a lot of things. And finally we can assemble them into a big thing, which we call as a robot actually. So fortunately, at my company, we do the similar way. We create everything in a sequential manner. We teach everything from class 1 to 12 in a very small and graded manner, like starting with visual programming, then C, C++, Python, and then
Right.
real world AI and machine learning, and finally coming to the robotics actually. So that's
Right, sir.
we teach, sir, actually.
That's wonderful, Abhishek, sir. We'll also understand more things about
Definitely.
robotics. How can we take up from grade 1 onwards? How do you take it, according to your program and all? We'll understand in the later part of the. Yes, sir.
One last point I just wanted to highlight, sir. The very important thing which I wanted to say. The student goes school for the learning. So we are very much in favor of teaching everything at the school, not after the school. A student is going to learn math at the school, his student is going to learn English at the school. So we believe students should also learn coding and everything, robotics and program at the school, not from somewhere else actually. So that's what our basic motto is.
That's
By-
wonderful, sir.
By the student,
Thank-
by yeah. Sure.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Abhishek, sir. We'll come up to the first round and I'll request Tilok, sir, to the very first question I'll be asking. Sir, what are your views what do you feel, what is coding actually? As we say that we are technology migrants, we need to understand it properly, but still we have some knowledge. So, sir, according to your versatile knowledge, what do you think, what is coding?
Thank you, Dr. Chandhok, for asking a very basic question, which is very, very essential for everyone to know what coding is all about. When we talk about junior kids, we have been seeing that our children are using the, remote cars. They're using remote robots. All this, from there, the basic has to come that, we can define coding as a process of creating instructions for computers using programming languages. Languages can be different. And when we use the programming languages to give the instructions to any kind of thing, whether it's a website, and the website also you see, you just click and the video starts working. How does it work? There is some programming has been done over there. So I think computer code is used to program the websites, apps, and other technologies we interact in everyday life. I was just looking at, we had the science exhibition recently, and class 5th child, he was using a robot was walking. I could see he was using the, a remote was there and it was walking. And I could see how did this child make, because we did not have the robotics preparation for those children. So I just came to know there was a remote car with the child. He modified the car and using the same remote for it. It all depends on how the children are utilizing it. There was another group of children who were using a drone. They had a remote aeroplane which was moving only 2 feet or 3 feet. They changed the whole thing, made a different structure to it, and they were making it move. Though it was going only 1 feet, 1.5, 2 feet, but I think there was a mindset the children were creating to give some kind of a coding. Coding is used for communicating with computers. And I think people use coding to give computers and other machines instructions on what actions to perform. You talk about, we also use computer code to program the websites, apps, etc. And when we talk about coding in the simpler terms, is the language used by computers. It's a language used for computers to understand our commands and therefore process our request. For a very simple example, like on the WhatsApp video call, like we are all sitting here. what is it? It's all artificial intelligence in the coding that we are talking and interacting like this. You take an example for an analogy. We click a video which is sent to us by you after creating this. You put it on the YouTube and you're going to put it to us again. With a click, we'll be able to see what all had happened today. So I believe that, in our smartphones, when we are able to click on something and we are able to run the video, I think that, this is my understanding. I don't know what is actually, because I'm not a computer science person.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Dheeraj
sir.
Dheeraj sir will be able to clear it better because he has a understanding of computers very well. The program is
That's
made up of
wonderful, sir.
series, programs are made up of a series of smaller tasks that direct your smartphone or directs your computers to do the above task and bring it to completion. According to me, this is what is a coding in the simpler language, just a language which is given to the computer. Even, as a teacher, I believe what I'm doing when I was a teacher, even today, when I check my teacher's work, I just see what is the result compilation of class 12 or class 10. We give the programming, we just fill up the marks, subject 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we give a computer programming there, and it takes the total automatically and gives the percentage also automatically. I think that is
Absolutely
what
right,
we
sir.
think
That's
about.
absolutely right, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And when you were talking about your kids, they did this, they made this and that. So we can understand from that that we are very feared that how these kids will be able to do from grade 1 or something like that. But they are only waiting for an opportunity. You just give an opportunity, and this you see what they can do. You cannot think over that. हम तो आज तक ये सोचते हैं कि हम टेलीफोन पे जब तार वाले फोन पे बात करते थे, ये तार से आवाज कैसे चली जाती है. अब तो और ज्यादा हो गया, बिना तार की आवाज कैसे पहुंच जाती है. So see, the generation which was above us, they had this concept. Now we have this. Now further children say, what's big deal in that? That is how to. I mean, they call us that you're obsolete now. You don't know anything. You people don't know anything. So this is very important. You have to keep her updated. That is why it came in my mind that I should come up with a robotics or coding season also, wherever we can understand and bring this forward to our kids, that how we can, have this with the future learning. Now coming up to Dheeraj sir, who else can give an introduction about coding? Then the messiah of computers and coding. Dheeraj sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you once again, Mr. Chandok. Well, this topic, which relates to coding, actually has been framed by the term programming or computer learning. So this is a cosmetic fragrance which has been added to it, as what Mishra rightly pointed out, and Mr. Trilok dwelled on it. So I think it is high time for us to understand that it's very much like computer programming, where we have a combination of applications. And above all, when I say that, it is to understand that we cannot be befooling the parents and the children on terms of coding ke bahane. We used to sell products and we used to charge them extra. So it is high time that we understand that it is more or less computer programming, and let's understand coolly the fact that it is a part of computer science implementation. CBSE has been putting it in notion of giving it a different name, maybe computer science, computer application, information practices, and many, many more to the uniqueness. But still, there is a demand by the students to rename IP, that is information practices, as computer science, because they don't get a recognition by many universities when they go for their admissions. So it is a high level way wherein we tend to reflect on logic framework. The understanding is that, as Mr. Trilok rightly said, it's a set of programs given to perform an executable task, a list, or for say, it is just a set of instructions given to perform a particular task defined by the nomenclature of the programming language. Coding as such has had its own preface. Like I used to teach computer science way back in April 90 when I started my career as a computer teacher. We used to simply say that, come on, write a program or write a code. code a program or code a program in basic COBOL or Fortran. They used to be program in question in ISC that time, Indian School Certificate Examination, where you used to have a questions like there used to be a question in program in COBOL, and we used to recode it in Fortran or Basic or Pascal or that format. So coding is very well computer programming. Let's try to understand and believe with the notion that it's not going to be any cosmetic to anything extra, except for the fact that when you mention about robo or robotics, it works with Python programming with a set of instructions to follow with some devices, IC chips, and other measurable and connected devices which work at perfection. Only thing is that we tend to reflect, even while teaching coding, we tend to reflect on teaching them flow charting, algorithm, which is actually a form of writing in English what the programming would be. And then flow chart, as everybody knows that we even use flow charts now as a tool of teaching as a part of a mind map. So what the program is ultimately going to do is a form of a framework through flow charting. So coding, in my sense, is as simple as computer programming. Let's not rename and let's not know it by a different methodology. It is very well when there are books also available in the market which say coding 1 to 5, coding 1 to 8. So it's more like computer science. Come on. And let's be very clear as educationists that we are not just going to be fooling our kids or parents by this fancy word of coding. It's very much like computer programming, and I work to frame a cause here that anyone who uses the term coding should actually reflect on computer programming as a preface. Thank you very much.
For sure, sir. From the next episode onwards, it will be computer programming, and the topic will not be called as coding, for sure, sir. And sir, one more question I'd like to ask you that, are you satisfied on the level of the coding or C++ or computer programming be taught in the schools? Because most of the schools or the children say that we are always being taught about the theory part. Practical approach is, I think, nowhere. Do you agree that, sir?
Well, 10 years back, I revised my 1 to 8 books for S.S.Chandhok and company. That is on step-by-step computing. And we got a framework by the council, that is the Council for the Indian School Certificate Examination. They framed a curriculum for computer science for 1 to 8, which was never done earlier. And you will be surprised to note that in class 8, they gave a passage of developing apps.
Right.
So developing application, that was mobile apps, earlier it was used to be developing a project with a software, something like that. So that mention is still there, and class 8 children are utilizing the power of app builder and other services available online to develop mobile apps as a part of framework. I don't call it coding, I call it fully computer programming with the base of a particular segment. And of course, along with that, they are learning about history of computers. They are learning about binary arithmetic. They are learning about Boolean algebra, which talks about zeros and ones. And the whole theory of Boolean algebra is being taught to them, which teaches them logic and what is like and, or, group. And there are so many other things, which actually is a part of a syllabus of class 12 Boolean algebra. At par with the Boolean algebra, we tend to teach them at 8th, 9th, 10th as well.
Right, sir. Thank you so much, sir. If we get the teachers like you or instructors like you, every school can become a good place to study at. Like every child, when they reach 5 to 6th grade, also they can make up their apps. But only the thing is, sir, what I want to say is that the maximum schools, they are not applying it. It is only going in the books. It is in the curriculum, which is a subject that is going on. But we are discussing about it and want to take it forward, that school should come forward and actually they should come up with a coding program which was existing now into the practical approach also. Thank you so much, sir. We'll come up to Jyoti Sirohi ma'am. Jyoti ma'am, we will like to know that we are discussing that coding is very important. Coding should be taught. So according to you, why coding should be taught in schools? Why it is so necessary?
Yeah, actually, I was listening to the experts of the computer. Trilok sir also said many things, and Dheeraj sir, he himself is a master of the computer science. So absolutely, he's right. And what he said, we cannot befool the parents. It is very true. See, it is, what is coding? Actually, I want to just tell everything. What is coding? Coding is nothing. It is simply a process of writing the computer programs or computer programming, or we can say coding is a computer programming to communicate with the computers. Right. And same way coding, then what is code? Code is a set of instruction to command the computer what to do. Simple. So that is what the computer is. What the coding and the computer is the same thing. So nothing to get worried about it. And from the past more than 2 years, we suffered from a pandemic, COVID-19. Globally, everybody knows that, and it was a worst phase of the life. But there has been a remarkable innovation to communicate through information technology. So now it is inevitable for all the stakeholders of education sector to know about how we can use the technology more and better, in the better way.
That's wonderful.
And in the school, and what we can say, in every school must be taught. Every school, this coding must be taught, and must make and the CBSE is already doing that, must make this subject a compulsory subject, and it would be very helpful for the students. And how it will be helpful, it is very interesting. Students can have opportunity to create their own content, right? They love playing. So, and the coding, what is that? The student can do editing in that, so that the creation can be shown by the students. Coding allows the students to express themselves. They can express them, and how it can be done, what can be done, and how the things can be edited in that. And then thirdly, the coding allows the student to be the creator of their own stories. How? Like they love to play games. So many children are there, they're playing the animated games. So they can make the animation, they can make their own stories, they can do the editing in the games, and they can use their own skills. And then is, during coding process, a trial and error is there. No problem. The child learn, fail, no issues. So in this, our trial and error is there. So nothing to worry about the failure. The child fails, learns. So that is how we grow in the life. So same way, what we are teaching to our children, learn, then fail, do, no problem in that. If the child is unable to do anything or do some error in that, no issues. But definitely the child is going to learn the skills, learn their creativity, and coding builds the self-confidence among the children. That is very important. Without self-confidence, nothing is there. So from the childhood, what we see, self-confidence, we try to inculcate and imbibe in the child. So child learn, do the errors in the coding, no problem in that. And coding uses a mathematical applications. What is that? Problem solving, the child used to learn it. The critical thinking, the child used to learn. It is totally mathematical. All the equations, all the derivations, and all that. So the child what they learn problem solving. They learn the critical thinking skills, and coding help the students to learn the principle of mathematics thoroughly and deeply and practically. So coding is now very essential tool. So we cannot deny from the coding. CBSE and NCRT and the new NEP, they all are saying this, the coding to be the part of curriculum. But already it is. Only the name is being changed, but the coding is required in each and every profession. So, and what is that? Coding cannot be done all alone. It needs a teamwork, right? So that is also one of the things the child learn how to work in a collaboration. Everywhere the coding is there. If we go to malls, we go on a highway and our car passes, it scans FASTag and all. What is that? That is coding. In grocery shop, in even in the washing machine, Suppose the child's mother is using the fully automatic washing machine, or they're using the ovens or whatever. So digitization is there. So what is that? Coding. Coding is nothing new. It is already being existed a long back. So it is just a trigger, just a name is being changed and nothing else. So nothing to get confused. It is very, very true. And what it do, it stimulates the creativity of the child. It stimulates the creativity of the student, expand their thinking, and give a proper, if you give a proper guidance and development, their personality and their potential increases. Children enjoys the fun game. They love playing and animated games. So, sir, all this is there. Nothing new, nothing to get confused. A coding is very simple. It should be there in the curriculum from the childhood. I think from the age of a 6 to 14, the child can learn. So it is very well,
Right.
can be mingle up or can be the part of the curriculum, and the child learns. Right?
That's wonderful,
Plus
ma'am.
Python and all, everything. So that is all the I want for the coding, because thank you so
The
much.
best thing of the things you have said, ma'am, apart from everything you have talked about, it teaches the child how to face failure.
Yes.
That is very
Do
important.
trial
The
and
student
error.
of this era, they are not able to face the failure. That is why when you open up the newspaper every day, you find so many cases.
Yeah.
So the best thing about coding, so many skills develop, all the skills we talk about. But the most important thing is how to face the failure. Okay, you can do it again. That is the most important thing. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank
We'll
you.
come up to Arindam sir. Arindam sir, we will also like to know your views that why coding should be taught in schools.
Okay, thank you so much, Chandok sir, for inviting me. And a quick intro of myself. I think this is my second time I'm coming to this platform. Basically, I'm a mathematics person, and I've done my MSc MPhil in mathematics from Jalapur University, Calcutta. I did my then I was at NCRT doing my fellowship there. I went to US to the University of North Carolina to do my post-product PhD program, and now I'm here at Jammu as a part of GD Goenka group, and along with Nidhi ma'am here. So so basically I look at it this way, sir. I remember when I was a child, my mother was running a music college, and she used to come home in the evening. So I used to make tea for her. I used to see to it to make her comfortable. I used to prepare tea, and I used to enjoy doing that. One fine day, what happened? She told me, "Today I don't want tea. You make lemon juice for me, lemon water." And I didn't know how to do that. So I asked her, "What do I do?" She said, "No, don't. Like, it's not very difficult. Get the cold water from the fridge. Cut half of a lemon, squeeze it in, and a half teaspoon of sugar and a pinch of salt, and mix them properly and give it to me." So you know what happened? I just did the same thing and I give it to my mother. Now the thing is, as a child, maybe I was at 5th standard that time, I knew what is lemon, I knew what is water, I also knew about sugar and salt, but I didn't know the process. I didn't know the process of doing it. I suppose coding is all about that, telling the computer, because as far as like with my own studies, I have done a little bit of Boolean algebra and and binary. So I know, you if you want to represent 6, you need to write 0, 1, 1, and 0. So how do you do that? And the computer doesn't understand if I say 76 plus 24, because it only understands the binary. So I suppose I have to have a language through which can convert my language to the binary language and present it to the computer for that particular task. The machine is very powerful. The machine knows everything, but the machine wants instruction. I think I understand, and as Dheeraj sir has talked about, like the language, the language that we are talking about in terms of machine language, they are nothing but the coding. And I absolutely agree with all the panelists saying that somewhere we are trying to, because of the marketing or so, whatever we call, we're trying to present it the old wine in the new bottle sort of thing, and trying to do that. And I absolutely agree to what Dheeraj sir had said very strongly, that yes, we are trying to put a new name to something which already we used to do. I remember when I was in school in 10th standard, I had computer science and I studied C++ at that point of time. And now they name it as coding. So I suppose that's what it is. And that's what is my take as far as coding is concerned. Thank you, Trilok, sir. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Wonderful, wonderful. It's not about at our time we had the same computer programming. That was thousands of years back also. You remember all that Vahan? I don't remember that Vahan and all. Everything was there. Everything was present. Pushback Vahan. Sorry, yeah. Just Pushback Vahan and so many things were there. That was also coding or computer
They
programming.
were programmed.
But
They were programmed.
yeah, so many things were there, sir. वो carpet पे बैठे और उड़ के पहुंच गए. Computer programming, everything was present then and now also. We say it is a chakra. You move around and you come back to the same thing. Only the forms have changed, like the fashion changes. Thank you so much, sir. Such a talented personality you are, sir. So much, so good examples you give, sir. I talk to you. Thank you so much, sir. We'll come up to Nidhi ma'am now. Nidhi ma'am, we will like to know your views on the saying that does coding develops different skills of children?
Absolutely. I think what coding is and how we understand it and how it has to be named and renamed or restructured, I think has been discussed by all the esteemed guests here today, who all are far more knowledgeable than I am. I'm a self-taught computer person, if at all I am. So from my own life, if I have to look at, let's say, coding, it may sound as a fancy word, something new that has come into the system, but yeah, it is a part of computer sciences. Now, my take on this is, of course, we talk about, and especially when we're talking about 21st century skills, and what exactly should we be teaching our children, And my take on this is today's generation, we as educators have a huge challenge, because as far as whatever we were taught in school, so the knowledge was only limited to the books. And if we had to look for something beyond that, we had to definitely go to the library and look for the encyclopedia, and it wasn't an easy job at all. So therefore, the duty or the role of a teacher in the classroom was very different, and was so information and knowledge was very limited. Today's scenario is very different. So I think whatever the children have to be taught has to be beyond the textbooks, because I feel textbooks are pretty restrictive in their very setup or the constitution that they are of. Knowledge, there's an explosion. Information, there's an explosion, and all of it is accessible to students at times much more than we can even think of it, and of all kinds. So if we are teaching them a concept, so even if it's a mathematical concept or a science concept, there would be so many other things, ways to make the concept simpler on YouTube. They will have a 3D illustration. They'll have a, whatever. So people explaining it differently, all languages. So much so that maybe the teacher will not be able to explain it that way. Now, taking the cue from there, so the skills that have to be built in these children definitely begins with the creative skills. Because in today's time, it is the idea that sells. So whoever, and if you talk of success stories, all success stories are the ones that had an idea. So and like, again, we Indians take pride in the fact that all these tech giants are being led by Indians. I look at it a little differently. Why did we have to lose them to those giants? Why couldn't we have the giants here rather than losing our people there? Because we had it in there. So somewhere I think we have to relook at the entire education system, because that's where things happen. And as educators, we also know that most of the brain development happens while they are in school. So if we are talking of the creative skills, that would be absolutely important for the ideas to happen at a certain age. The learning has to become early. So why restrict only to coding? So when you're talking of coding, that it should be introduced at, let's say, a grade 1 level or grade 2 level, because then it becomes a part of all the other things that the child is learning. So whether it's the languages or mathematical skills, because those are the intelligences we are born with, right? I mean, we all know about the intelligences that one is born with. So we have, and computer skills or coding, it is mathematical in nature. because there is logic, there is a pattern that has to follow, and the children have to learn it just the way they're learning other things. So that in today's scenario, where most of the children, the parents, they want the children to make a career in the field of technology. So if they learn it early and school gives it, so it will be easy for the students not only to decide whether they would like to pursue that as a career, but if they have the talent in them, they will do much better. Because in the current scenario, what is happening is usually computer sciences, it may be taught in the school in primary level, the middle school level, but that is more to do with what is already there. So it's about familiarizing them with the computer, with the MS Office, and very, very basic and fundamental things which the children may know even otherwise, because they learn it on their own, right? They're actually introduced to the technicalities of computer sciences in grade 11 and 12. And by then, there's this whole hoo-halla about parents wanting the children to take up only science, whether they like it or they don't like it, whether they have scored the marks or not, whether they have the aptitude or the interest, and computer science, because better, that's where you will earn your whatever figure salary, and that's where that's your passport to the US and this, that, and the other, without even understanding, is the child ready for it? Does the child want it? So if we introduce computer sciences and coding early, it becomes important for them to understand, because it is important for us to know how things work. Technology will be everywhere, like Dr. Siro, he just mentioned, right from the washing machine to the oven to every place. So we know exactly. So we don't have that doubt. How does this happen? It shouldn't seem that it is something out of the world that is happening.
Right.
They have to accept it as something very normal. Just the way the child cycles or plays or whatever, or if the remote control, how they function, how it happens. But when they actually come to grade 11 and 12, they know the basis of computer sciences, so they do not find it difficult. And most principals here will agree that a lot of children, they take up computer science as a subject in grade 11 and find it very difficult to cope up with it. And they start dropping it in the middle of grade 11 and grade 12. And we've seen all these patterns. So I think for all of it, it is important that we start it early. It is an important part of our lives today. The children have to understand. So it becomes a subject like other subjects. Definitely it improves their creative skills, their analytical skills. They become more organized. They understand the gadgets that they are dealing with, which is extremely important. But it also prepares them to study it further or not to study it further. So because
Right, ma'am.
this is my personal opinion, when you're pushing
Right, ma'am.
too much of coding, you have to. I always have this question, why? I mean, mathematics, I'll just take an example of mathematics because the two are similar, is a subject that has been taught and pushed down the throats of students for ages, like
Right, ma'am.
where they don't want to study because they don't have the aptitude.
Ma'am, the thinking of the parents is either their child should be engineer or doctor.
Exactly.
Got 70%, 60% in grade 10th, and they will be wearing the caste t-shirt and moving around. And the caste people will be saying, okay, the evening batch is over. You have to come in the morning batch. Don't go to school. So we talk to the parents, what type of institutes are there? They are saying the children not to go to schools. Government is saying literacy should be increased. Children should go to school. Instead, these institutes are saying, okay, come in the morning to our, these institutes and don't go to the schools. So every parent is, this is just, a thoughtful and a sorrow thing that common parents, they want their child paying so many heavy fees for this. Neither they are performing on the school level for the boards, nor they are able to clear that. So what is, these people, they are playing with the future of the kids. And that is a very important thing which has to be discussed and to be counseled to the students. Like you were saying, it is not like that only coding is or computer programming is the future. Here, the only thing is the child is taking, you're absolutely right, in 11th, 12th he's taking, where at the end of his schooling he's taking that. So there's no use in that. There is no use, he's not able to learn because he with boards, he's not able to understand that properly. So thank you so much, ma'am.
It's not only that, I've had parents approaching me saying, hey, ma'am, we would like to take admission, but only as a dummy school. So I asked them,
yeah.
define dummy school.
One of the forum I was talking the same thing, ma'am. One of the forum I was speaking the same thing. They were saying that there are dummy schools. I said, we all are the people who promote the dummy schools. Why? Because we take the students who are 99%, 98% they've got in grade 10, they'll give us a good result. And after the result, the next day, the full page ad you are giving. When you will stop all this, then only the dummy schools culture. The schools are only developing this culture. If all the schools will start refusing this, of course, the thing should be clear for them. It'll be clear, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll come up to Abhishek, sir. Abhishek, sir, you have heard all the eminent guests. Now, a very direct question as an expert will ask you that you were saying that we should start, although ma'am also everybody had said that coding should be started from the very ground level, from grade 1 at least. What are your opinion? Why should we start coding from grade 1? And how does it works? Because a grade child, one student is a 6-year child. How will you be able to understand that? How will you take the things to them? Over to you, sir.
Thank you. So I was listening to all of you very patiently, and very important point we have discussed. At least we all are agreed upon one thing, like we should start teaching computer programming or coding. Coding is nothing but a subset of the computer program. If I talk about the technicality, computer programming involves a lot of other things like developing an algorithm and all that. Coding is just a subset of a small task, teaching the computer what to do, actually, to be more precise. So since we are starting from class 1, we have also need to understand one very small, very interesting thing. It has to be interesting, and it has to be in the way the small kid understand. We should not overburden, or we should not teach them something that they start hating coding. Actually, that should not happen. Like ma'am discussed, these days parent forces too much about mathematics or something. So we should not create a sense of fear in the mind of student. Unfortunately, in India, we do not have such tool. I would say, like, except few schools or few organizations, we haven't seen such things. So we decided to create something for the student so that they can learn coding in a very funny way or in a very attractive way while playing. If you permit, sir, I can just show one small thing of visual programming, actually, which is much different than C, C++, or Python. It's for early students, actually, where we just teach them the very basics of the thing, like how things work. Just allow me a second to present my screen, sir.
Sure.
Yeah. So, sir, okay. So this is a very simple example, sir, which we can teach to a student of class 1 or 2, where we can create a very small kind of story where a bear is walking in the jungle. If you see, like, if you see the bear is walking in the jungle, you see here, actually, there is no single line of code is involved. These are just simple blocks, like next costume, move the bear to 5 steps or something like that, and then wait for something. So in this way, we can start teaching to the students, actually. We can explore them to try funny character, which they can very easily correlate. Like every kid loves these kind of things. So we should also give them a platform or tool where they can understand and they can correlate with their age, actually, not with a different maturity. So this is for the small kids, the way we can teach. Now, once we go to the higher classes, definitely we can teach them a different kind of things like C programming, C++ programming, or Python programming, or even real world AI and ML also, sir. So AI and ML, like I was speaking, like all of us are uses different things. Like we feel wonder, we see a phone and it get unlocked. Okay, sir. How does it get unlocked? It recognizes your face and it gets unlocked. Like ma'am was saying, washing machine is everywhere. Okay, so we have n number of small devices around everywhere. Now we need to teach the students how these things work, and there has to be something on which kids can try and practice these things. I would like to show you a very small device, which is a part of our Codian. In this device, sir, you can perform n number of small activity. I would say at least 500 smaller activity by measuring the room temperature, to sensing the light, creating an alarm, measuring your heartbeat, measuring your footsteps, how many steps you are walking. That's in very simple programming language. Like I can in very small steps using Python for the kids. Like I will show you a very small things are like. All of us wear fancy watches, correct, sir? Which measures your step count every day. Have you ever wondered, by writing these 3, 4, or 5 lines of the code and running on this small device, it will measure your everyday step count? Just 4 lines of code using Python, which respected directors are also telling. So we have to develop something. We have to provide students also some kind of tools where they can do the practical things. Sir. Okay. I was speaking about the robotics also, and we should show them how the robot works. Now, I would like to show you a very small robot which is in front of me. And this is I call it programmable robot, sir. You see, this is the brain of the robot. I can write any program on this robot and this will do whatever it's being told. So that's so we have to basically enable kids, and we have to provide them these kind of tools so that they can learn. Now coming to the very important point, sir, the coding or learning at the school. Okay, here as we are speaking,
Abhishek sir, I will intervene because think what I have understood from whatever you were saying is, like in pre-primary classes, we say that children that this is ear, this is nose, this is eyes, this is ears. They will understand that gradually, and then they can join together and make it a body, a human being. So
Correct.
that is that. If we say it in a very simple language, what I've understood, what you are explaining.
Correct, sir.
Right, sir?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is teach them step by step. Let's
Okay.
make it a gradual, not we do not overburden them. First, start with the visual programming. They can play with the character and just move the basic block. The way they do the Lego programming, we assemble the block and it start doing something. With that kind of thing we can start. Then as they grow older, we can teach them C, C++ or this hardware kind of programming. And once they know how to interact with hardware, so basically, as we are speaking, the current world is like a world of integrated circuits. You are having a mobile or laptop. We do not see any wire coming in or coming out. So we should also give them something on which they can do the practicals. So this is a thing which they can do very easily practically. Each student can do the practical. Another very important thing which I was just wanted to cover, sir, like coding or whatever we teach now, that should be at the school. And we believe in offline mode, sir. There are two very strong reasons for it. First, though we should not boast about it, but in most, I would say around more than 60 to 70% of the school and in India, they do not have very good internet connectivity. So we should keep that in the mind also. Though they have the computer at their lab, but they do not have a very good good internet connectivity. So we have to give something to them also, so that the kids, they can also learn and practice at this area. Like Dheeraj sir was saying, they should be doing some practicals. So we have to provide them the tool to do those kind of practical in complete offline mode. That is one thing which we wanted to give, sir. The second thing is, whatever we are learning, again, I strongly feel like I can very easily correlate with my teachers at my school. If we learn from our school teacher and with our peers, the learning will be much more easier and much more fun, rather than learning somewhere at the home and in front of a screen. So those are the two important things that I just wanted to highlight.
That's wonderful, sir. So can you remove the presentation, please? Yeah, thank you so much, Abhishek ji. A wonderful thing you have created, and like a very simple language. You have understood that pehle we will tell them the body parts, and they can join together and make it as a body, and they can understand actually what is. And by the time from grade 1 to grade 12, when they reach, they'll be knowing the actual, the insightness of coding, or I'm sorry, computer programming. We'll be knowing that one and the same thing. Thank you so much, Abhishek sir. We'll come up to the next round, and I request there's a shortage of time to keep your answer very precise for 60 seconds or 1 minute. We'll come up to Trilok sir first. Trilok sir, we had been seeing that coding is almost everywhere in all the machines or gadgets which you're using, which you have discussed in the first round also, that in everyday, like we are using in washing machines, mobile phones, and everywhere. So what are your views on that, sir? Is it true? Sir, you're on mute, sir.
Am I audible now?
Yes,
This is
sir.
very true. This is very true in a broader sense. Coding is used to run the simplest of appliances and gadgets used in today's world. Everything you talk about, the coding is there into it. Coding finds excessive use in popular gadgets such as your application on your mobile phones, your tablets, your computers, your laptops, and other smart gadgets like smart watches and smart TVs are also coming these days. Alexa, OK Google, and many more, right? Coding is used in automated cars also. I have my car which is automated. I can see coding is used there, and it's very easy to at times we can go into there's another mode where we don't have to even hold the steering as well. So I think coding is used in automated cars to control every aspect from clutches to air conditioning to fuel injectors, and system analogs are being employed to streamline the procedures. Now they're working on how to go about how to streamline the controlling of sewage and electrical grids, traffic lights, etc., with the help of coding. And there was a child of my school, Jayesh Bish. He got the Inspire Award by the uh, technology ministry, and then he was taken in the final. What he did was he created a machine. He created a waste segregation, artificial intelligence, something like that. He integrated that, and it could you put anything, it will segregate the waste on its own. We don't need the manual part. So as a result, what I believe is, computers have replaced millions of working hours in warehouses of analog machines with faster, safer, and more reliable systems. Since computers, you see, when we were kids, we were going to the shop. That uncle ji was there. He was counting. ये 10 रुपए होगा 20 रुपए ठीक है. And today you go, they scan the things, they put the things, everything. They give you a receipt, and you go and everything is done within a spur of a second. So I think coding is really getting into our day-to-day life, and if you really talk about it, computers will continue to replace the people and technology. It doesn't mean that they'll replace the people altogether, but number of working hours will go down. What I believe is computer will continue to replace technology in everything from microwaves to power plants, and you can say, and the presence of code in our daily life will increase day by day. And I think as teachers also, the coding or the programming is coming into our life. You see, all schools are using the some or the other management system where everything is coded, decoded. Coding and decoding is happening, and we cannot keep a physical check on everything today. The way we were doing earlier, fees was collected, and you talk about Paytms, you talk about Google Pay, you talk about Phone Pay, and all these things would have not been possible if we would have not encouraged the coding and programming altogether. I think coding helps us in day-to-day life, and we couldn't have some of the digital products like this, digital products which are very, very helpful in our day-to-day, running of the things. You talk about your mobile phone also has become more like a heartbeat of the people. You see, you can leave everything else, but your mobile is left. You take a U-turn and go back and get your mobile. It should be near you. So mobile is nothing but a series of programming into it. As a result, your day-to-day life is taken care of by it. I think I shouldn't say much because you said 1 minute only.
Yes,
So
sir. Yes, sir.
I'm just ending up my
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
It's just in 1 minute's time.
Sir, we can say this. Thank you so much, sir. We can say this, that when mobiles came, when 500 rupees wala mobile came for the Reliance, it was a luxury, but now it is a necessity. Likewise, coding may be a a luxury sort of thing right now, but it will become the necessity in the future. This is what you want to say, I think, sir. Trilok, sir. Thank you so much,
part
sir.
and parcel of life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It will be a necessity.
Of our life, we will learn it automatically. Whether we want it or not, we will have to learn it. Yeah?
Sir, it is
And nothing will
like
be
the,
imposed on us. Nothing will be imposed. It will come automatically to us, right?
sir, coding has not to be learned to make a future in it. Coding has to be learned because without coding, you won't
There
be
will be
able
no
to survive
future.
anywhere.
No
You
future.
will be nowhere. You will be nowhere. You will be nowhere. Thank you so much, sir. Dheeraj sir will come up to you, sir. Again, coding is everywhere, sir. I mean, sorry, computer programming is everywhere, sir. Sir, over to you, Dheeraj sir. Your
And
opinion.
Dheeraj sir is all everywhere. He's also everywhere in every book.
Dheeraj sir, we'd like to know your views, sir. Please.
Potatoes and the onions, and of course, see, cutting short of all comic here, the identity here talks about the very requisite of how best we use the technology. Yes, as I said, the word coding talks about a type of an intelligence, but it should not be mistaken out of the blue saying that if I'm going to join or I'm going to work for a particular coding module or learn programming language, say for example Python as of now, I will become an X, Y, or Z software programmer or an expert. I'm sorry, it's not like that. It is the best to approach, and we should be able to explore the possibilities through the technology, which has come out of loads and loads of hard work through, of course, coding and programming and skills. We talked about AI as one of the applications. Let's come together to understand, like we have had n number of workshops on artificial intelligence. So I believe the more we should be talking about it is an application part of it. As Mr. Mishra rightly pointed out, it's a combination of image recognition, data manipulation, and the NLP, which means the natural language processing. How it works, and how and what and why about understanding the part of technology is more important today. When we talk about coding, everyone is talking about coding is very much necessary. Coding is this, coding will make you the king and the queen or something like that. I think it is all stupidity. Let's understand the fact that we are talking about intelligence here. And one of the applications of computers as a part, we need to be well versed about using technology to the best way possible. Number one. Number two, how it is done so, we should well be matured to understand the very importance of AI, the understanding of AI, as Mr. Mishra rightly pointed out. Second thing which comes is the robotics, understanding the concept of robotics, how it works, how it integrates the human factor, the three things I told you about: the natural language processing, the image processing, and above all, the visual effect of it. And these three combine to frame AI into machine language and also a part of any other XYZ languages. Certainly, I believe that as an academician, let's come together to make the children understand that one programming language expertise is what they need to have, just like one foreign language or just like any English language, so that they get to know how the computers work and how we connect with them as a part of framing the software and as a part of learning experiences. That's my take on that. Thank you.
Can
Wonderful,
I
sir.
come in here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chandok, just a minute.
Yes.
Dheeraj and Abhishek have spoken about it, and I must say that when we are talking about coding and programming and all, we have to make our children learn by trial and error method. There should be no hard and fast rule to do this only. Up till now, I was thinking that it's only the sports ground where the children learn to fail and understand how to handle the failure. But I think now in the programming process also,
Yeah.
they will fail, they will get up again, they'll bounce back. As a result, in our nursery KG,
Yes,
first,
sir.
second, third classes, we are using the story jumpers along with the animators and the paw tools so that the children can create their own stories. And they have ready-made apps are there right now, and they create, once they get used to it, through the trial and error method, they can also create their own apps as well. I think
True.
these are the things which have to be inculcated to the children.
Come by themselves. Yeah, they need to practice that, where that interest, the curiosity, they become the
We have to
curators.
leave the theory. Theoretical part should not be that important.
Very
Let it be trial and error method, and it should be more practicability into it. When the
So,
children
look,
are
sir.
doing some story
Yeah.
through the story jumper, I think they will be able to create a good story. Like what Abhishek has shown us just now, that bear is moving. Our children have been doing this kind of stories in abundance, and I really learn from them.
Very true. We
Actually,
had that scratch
they're the ones who
programming.
are teaching me.
Yeah, that scratch programming is being taught. And that's what it is. The logo was there 10 years back. It has been replaced by Scratch as a
Yeah.
programming
Right.
language.
So this is there, sir. Tilok, sir, if you have seen that a 1 year child, he's not gone to school, but when he's disturbing mama in the kitty party or any party, mama gives the mobile and the child goes and push on the button of YouTube and the video he or she has to see. So the child has born up their technology resident and they're born with this. They only need exposure. This is what we can understand. And exposure has to be given by the school from the very beginning, as Nidhi ma'am also said. It's not, should be not, because it has been always been a formality when we are giving it from 11th and 12th. This is for sure. Thank you so much, sir. We'll come up to Jyoti ma'am. Jyoti ma'am, we'd like to know in 60 seconds about what is the future of coding.
Fine, sir. Actually, if you see critically, the information technology is an essential component for every activity, for every industry, whatsoever it is, and everybody is using this. And about efficiency and speed. Everybody want a very efficient things and speedy things. So they don't care about best coding languages. They need something that is easy to be created, fast. So what they number one is that what is the future of the coding, sir, you ask. So easy to create, easy to be customized, and efficient. It should be efficient and take less resources and can say and we can use economic. They should be a
Right.
little cheaper, not should be very expensive. So in future, coding maybe with less code or codeless. So
Right.
it is not something new. It is old only. As what we want to say, कि हमें इतना ज़्यादा इस चीज के लिए we should not be कि what is coding, this is new thing. No.
Right.
Everywhere in every industry, from day till night, we are using the coding. Mothers are using, everybody is using, children are using, everybody is used to it. Only because of the name, we should not get confused. And as I want to say, as the MBAs were there, they used to everywhere MBA. A boom was there. Same way, the information technology, now it is being named as a coding. So a boom is there. We should not get panic or nothing like that. It is very old. It is very old. So I just want to tell about one of the software engineer. He was a Harry Cobble. He was a Harry Chan. He founded an Kobo Academy for the children. He was from Hong Kong, and he started his academy in 2018. And with the aim of providing coding and robotic education to the children whose age is from 4 years to 16 years of the age. Why? Just to enhance the digital knowledge, analytical thinking among the children, and problem solving. I'm repeating this. So
That's
that
wonderful.
academy was designed, sir, according to the age of the children, interest of the children, and the coding, and just to code the experience. Student can code the experience from the childhood itself. They
Right.
don't find anything new in that because every day they're using. See, my son is there. He's playing PS3. He is interacting with the children of here in India to the abroad, and same way. So what is that? This is the live thing. So, sir, Trilok sir very truly said, mobile is there. So many apps are there. So many games are being designed. So children are more faster than us. So rather
Absolutely
we
right,
have to
ma'am.
be updated according to the generation. We are trying to cope up with all that, and we are trying to learn, and with the help of Dheeraj sir, with the help of the computer experts. So that's what I want to say.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. You know, you will be thinking that how will they do this? By that time, they have done this.
They
So
have done
this
this.
is
As the
they have
smaller
done.
children were, as the smaller,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
was saying, as the smaller kids were there, we used to give them the blocks. What is that? Coding only. So now
Coding only.
these things are being replaced by this computer and
Ma'am,
information.
like we were discussing thousands of years back, also we had computer programming.
Yeah.
So it is just a circle. When you move that and you come back to the same place, this is what is happening. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll
Yes.
come to Arindam sir. Arindam sir, we will also like to have your views on the future of coding in 60 seconds, sir.
See, I look at it, other than human beings, I think every appliance comes with a microprocessor unit nowadays. I won't be surprised another day if I bite an apple and a microchip comes out of the apple. That might also happen tomorrow. Like, I look at it this way. Let's see, today we are looking at small things, or when we were students, or during our college time, the tape recorder is not working. So we use those, if you remember the cassettes that we used to have, used to turn them. That was a skill that was there. I think this is going to be another 10 years down the line. This is what is the skill that the people need to require. So I feel if the students are prepared for that, then they just need to, if a gadget is not working, they just plug in their, their own gadget and check, code in, and get the gadget, set right. So I feel that sort of skill is required, and that's why this coding aspect is happening. You see, any appliance, like we were talking about, whether it's an air conditioner or a washing machine or whatever you call it, yeah,
Everything. Yeah.
where we have the microprocessor which controls. Now, suppose if it doesn't work, then what? Then we need to call the engineer, right? Or if a car, like, they just in the car also, an automatic car as Trilok sir has, you just need to plug in and just find it out where things are going wrong. So what I'm saying is, this is going to be the need of the hour. It should not be like, that's why it is a good thing that we are starting from the school. It should not be an electrical engineer doesn't know how to change the bulb, he calls an electrician for this, right? It should not be that, I feel, right? And if
Absolutely
we,
right.
yes, so if we know this, and if we train our students from that particular level, from the lower classes, I am sure by the time they grow up and they become man and women and they take up their life, I'm sure they will be able to manage themselves and not be handicapped and dependent on plumbers and electricians and one more engineer who will come and take care of the gadgets. So that will not happen. I am pretty optimistic about it, and I know that this will be the need of the hour and what we are doing. And I'm sure, as Dheeraj sir was talking about, I'm sure if we are more clear about what exactly we want our students to do, then I think the result in another 5 years down the line, we will be able to see that better. That's it. Is one my take.
That's wonderful, sir. That's wonderful, sir, because Dheeraj sir also had been saying that, that this computer programming had been in our times also, still now, only the form and name has changed. It is just like I was just remembering that people do not do cycling, but they pay of free, but they pay and go into the gyms and they do the cycling. मतलब आप साइकिल नहीं चलाते हैं लेकिन पैसे दे के जिम में जाके चलाते हैं. तो this is what is happening now. Computer programming was always there, but importance is being given now when you are being taught for that. It was over there. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. We'll come up to Nidhi ma'am. Nidhi ma'am, we would like to have your precise answer in 60 seconds. That we, as we say, we are technology migrants. We have seen so many things. Like Arindam sir was saying that cassette, वो जब रील निकल जाती थी तो पेन लगा के बीच में घुमा के जब कैसेट ठीक करते थे, मेडोना के गाने सुनते थे और माइकल ओके से किसके गाने सुनते थे. Had a box of cassettes. Now children, they don't know so many things. So how do you feel that from manual to technology we have moved in 60 seconds, ma'am?
Well, see, like everybody has said, coding is going to become a part of a fabric, just the way technology has always advanced. So, I mean, there were times when, we had to book a telephone for your home. I remember as a child, and we would get the telephone only after 3 to 6 months after going to the exchange. I don't know how many trips we had to make to the exchange, and booking an STD call and ISD call was a Herculean task, and you had to wait for hours. And today you're there, you can talk over video calls and everything, and the world has shrunk, all thanks to technology. So coding is also, it's coding. And today I don't think sitting here, because maybe I'm saying it because I'm not a technological person, it's going to advance and we can't even say what it will become. So when we had the mobile phone coming in and we had that huge handset which looked more like the walkie-talkie, and today, and then from there to smartphones, I'm just talking about these 10-15 years gone by, and technology is progressing even much faster today. So today it is coding. Tomorrow, as you said, you really don't know what would be the basis of all these devices that we are having. So, from smart to over smart or whatever is going to be there. So to be prepared for that, I think it's very important for the children to be very much there, and they have to learn. So even when computers came in, I still remember they would be doing COBOL and paintbrush, not paintbrush. It was that, what was it called? Where we had to give those instructions.
Fortran.
And they were the most boring lessons that the children found. I still remember, very confusing. And then suddenly came Microsoft Office, and everything was trashed, and there was something new which was there. So today we really don't know, when coding as such may just become obsolete and something absolutely new may come in. And that would be the future. So what has to be taught to the children, as we always educators say, first we have to teach them to learn, but we also have to teach them to unlearn and relearn. And I think that is more relevant to our generation than the children, because they know more than us. all the time, you know. Okay,
Right, ma'am.
I think many of us, even if when we're talking technology, today suddenly everything is online. You know, you don't have to step out of your house to get anything. Unlike what we grew up with, you know, running to the market. I mean, just about everything, to the extent that if you have to send something to a relative's place, you don't have to move out, right? So the changes that are happening, it's all coding being the core of it. So we have to prepare the children to accept technology and make it a habit. So I think that's the future, and the progress is
Absolutely
going to
right,
be
ma'am.
much faster than it has ever happened in history.
You're absolutely right, ma'am, because maybe after 5 years or 10 years, there will be no physical books even.
Yes,
And
yes.
there won't be physical books even, and gadgets will be used, and which way and what way. We see that that car is moving from up and down and everywhere. There are these, so you can expect anything. Nothing is impossible now. In our time, when we had to see any meaning of any word, we were finding out in dictionary. Now the students, the
And that
children,
was
they
a
don't
special
know.
skill.
They
It was a
don't know
special,
this. What is dictionary?
yeah.
Correct.
Google Baba is over there. They can find each and everything. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Abhishek sir will come up to you. We won't take much time. A very straight question to you. It is very good to listen to that we should have coding and we should have it from early classes, from grade one and this. What about the monetary part? Because the finance is the most important thing. This thing is not about the schools which are the principals which are sitting over here. We want to take it forward to the whole, because when every school will be using it, we know it very well. Not even 2% of the schools in India, they are using coding. What about that? Because we had so many labs and so expensive they are. So are these things very economical, or are they very expensive?
Thanks, sir. Thanks for asking this very important question, sir. So I would be very straightforward. It's very, very much economical. It's totally offline, sir. It's works in the lab mode. So when you take our just one device to the lab and connect it to 30 computers or 20 computers, it's become automatically 21 computers or 21 units. Automatically it becomes. That's the beauty of our thing. We have also applied the patent for it. It's more than 500 plus schools in India. In remote village also, Naxalite area also, our coding solution is there, sir. It's very, very much economical. We give them real experience like this robot, this hardware chips, where you can do the programming and all those things. And it's way cheaper than you can assume, sir. That's what I can say. It's very, very economical.
So that means that if it is not every child should not have the same kit. Again, only one kit can work for all the kids. If
Yes.
the Lok sir has 100 computers in his computer lab, so it will become 100 kits. It will become.
Yeah, it will become 101, sir. One
Sir,
will be.
Dheeraj sir, is it
We
possible?
are totally getting away with the labs. We are removing the labs altogether. We are coming to that system now. Yeah. Because every
Right,
child
sir.
will have a laptop or a tablet or something. So we don't want the labs anymore, you know.
Exactly,
Right,
that's a
right.
very good point, sir, actually, and Dheeraj sir must also be knowing. We are taking the advantage of the computing power of the existing hardware in your school, sir. Why, if you already have 30 computers, why should I ask you to buy 30 more units, something like that? Just one unit, and it should communicate with your 30 computers and take the computing advantage of the 30 computers which you have, and that too in complete offline basis. So yeah,
That's wonderful.
it's
That's
30.
wonderful, Abhishek sir. You have created a very good product, because Dheeraj sir to already has knowledge, but like Nidhi ma'am or Jyoti ma'am or me, Anandam sir also had knowledge. Tilok sir also had.
Even
We
me.
did not had so much knowledge about that. We were thinking that just you fixing up 4 or 5 things together, it becomes robotics. And when I started talking to you before 2 episodes also, so we realized that whatever we are using throughout the day, everything. And sir, please tell us about that. You were talking, Tilok sir, you were talking about Alexa. Another thing which has come beyond Alexa, you don't have to give command even.
Yeah.
Abhishek sir, only in verbal you can tell us, sir.
You think and it maps up.
Yeah, I told you
Gets
in the
mapped
morning
up.
about that.
I will.
This guy made that
You know,
thing that he put it
Dr.
back.
Chandhok, I
Sir,
had a dog of mine. I put a chip and I knew where my dog is roaming around.
Sir, I will show you one example, sir. Allow me just 1 second. Just only 30 seconds. I will just show you one video, sir. Here. Here I was able to lit a bulb, sir, just by thinking. That makes us. Yes. Alexa. Just yes. I was just thinking and I was able to lit this bulb just by thinking. I was wearing a EEG headset and using AI and ML, like Dheeraj was telling, I was parsing my brain signal on the runtime. You can see the stage fear also. Because of stage fear, it took 30 seconds, but yeah, I was able to lit it and turn it off also.
Not only that, I have a feeling yesterday, last evening, my slippers, strap that tore. And I just said that, oh my God, I need to buy a slipper strap. And after that, I could see in my Facebook, they were all showing advertisements of slippers. I was surprised. How did that happen?
Actually, what
Did
happened?
technology go to that extent?
What is happening? There is something called ubiquitous computing, where these devices now, like mobile phone and all, they keep on listening to your data. Although they do not store your data, but they fetch the relevant information and they supply to ads company. So if you are speaking,
That was just a joke. Okay.
Arindam sir, you are much more forward than Abhishek. You are the expert of today. Thank God you were not thinking about something else in front
All
of your
these
wife.
computers
Otherwise,
and laptops and mobiles are showing the patterns. Whatever we are doing, whatever we are searching, it comes automatically.
correct.
When you are clicking on the search, so many things are shown to you what you have been Googling earlier.
Correct.
So
Sir,
they-
but
Actually,
with-
I was trying to find the ear of my phone so that I can put cotton in it, so I can't hear what I'm saying. You know, it's pretty challenging. It's become quite a.
But Arindam sir, that is very risky for the married people, sir. Don't do this, sir. This technology will, take us away somewhere else, for sure.
But on a serious note, today I was just reading about one of the applications, that is artificial intelligence. It says that it goes to that level, and it's the document has come in Sun, one of the leading magazines, and one of the technicians of Google says that this artificial intelligence can go and kill the mankind, and that's something which is very, very
Sir, did you saw that
worrisome.
movie Robot Chitty? It is something like that. A human being is very intelligent. He has created computer, and computer is 100 times intelligent than him. And if they multiply, like we are going forward towards that, so the same thing can happen. It was shown over there, sir. It was shown over there that anything can happen. We are running towards disaster. You can say that when you talk about the Vedas and all, we are running towards that. But you can't. You have to run with the the run that is going on, the marathon that is going on in the universe, for sure. That's wonderful. Yes, sir.
Dr. Chandhok, I was just trying to think the other way around. I was thinking that coding teaches problem-solving skills to our children. It also teaches our children the thinking skills, creativity, and persistence. They keep doing it, trial and error method, persistence is there. These skills also prepare our children for the jobs outside the tech. Not only in the tech only, outside the tech, they prepare for the jobs such as healthcare, finance, and marketing, etc. So I think we can connect it with that. It's not that they're doing only the jobs in the technology only, but this can help them outside the tech jobs as well. I was
Very
just
true. And
thinking about
Chandhok sir, yeah, thank you, sir. I just wanted to add, Chandhok sir, you can take the next topic as design thinking, which is an
that's a
add-on
wonderful topic.
and more of talked about than coding, right?
Right.
That would be
Right, sir. Right, sir. For sure, sir. For sure, sir.
Thank
Yes,
you.
boss. Dheeraj sir, you are an expert, so we'll listen to you first. But Arindam sir, his thought is something else, sir. From sleepers to something, out of the box, sir. Out of the box, out of the universe, sir. I'll talk to you about, sir. I will talk to you about that. That was a wonderful discussion we had, and you know very well at the end of the session, we have a me time. And the youngest person who will sing the first, because all are people who have already come to the show. So I think the youngest person is, who is? Jyoti Surai ma'am, are you the youngest of us?
No, I'm
You
not
have
youngest.
Ma'am, that is a
Arindam,
privilege for the females, and it's a crime to ask the age of females. So we
Let
are giving
Arindam
you a
start.
privilege. Arindam sir, you are also a very fond of. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A gentleman.
Okay, so since I'm in Jammu, I will sing a Dogri song, though I'm a Bengali.
Okay.
I will just try. I've heard it recently in our
Sir, वो
school.
अगला चलो रे सुना दीजिए sir. अगला चलो रे सुना दीजिए sir.
Okay, if you want to sing, okay, that's fine. So I'll sing Akla Chalo Re, fine. It's a song that was penned down by Dr. Ravindranath Tagore, and Guruji himself had actually tuned it also. Okay, I know just one line, and I will sing that much. যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে, যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে, একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো রে, যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে। Thank you so much.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful, sir. Wonderful. Coming to Jammu very soon, sir. Coming to Jammu very soon with the offline show.
Yes.
And sir, Tilok sir, you have to join for sure.
Hi,
Of
Dheeraj
course.
sir to kahin-
Of course.
Dheeraj sir to aayenge hi aayenge. He will be the showstopper over there.
We will to be together, taking the flight from Amosi together.
Sure. अरे नवाबों के शहर से ही जाएंगे सर, लखनऊ से जाएंगे. For sure, sir.
सर हमें जल्दी
Luckily,
थोड़ा
we
निकलना
are
है,
excited.
भाई बार-बार घूर के देख रही हैं, तो I will.
सर फिर आप गाना सुनाएं और आप जा सकते हैं सर, आप गाना सुनाएं और जा सकते हैं सर. होम मिनिस्ट्री, डिफेंस मिनिस्ट्री, होम मिनिस्ट्री कॉल आ गया, आप जा सकते हैं.
हाँ, please.
Sir, your turn, sir, for the song, sir. You can go then.
I'm a very not even a bathroom singer, so I would just request and.
You can be a webinar singer.
Sir,
you-
so
You can be a
sorry,
webinar
sir.
singer.
I can
I'll
write
be a
book
bathroom
on the
singer.
wall, but I cannot sing. Thank you very much, and God bless everyone. I'm so sorry. Take care.
Right, sir.
Hi,
Okay,
dear.
take care,
It was
sir.
so
Bye-bye.
good to see you after such a long time. Yeah.
Jyoti ma'am, now you are ready for that, I think so. Tilok sir will be the showstopper at the end. उनका तो गाना सुन लेंगे, आपको मजा आ जाएगा.
This song is sung by Kishore Kumar.
Yeah.
रुक जाना नहीं तू कहीं हार के, कांटों पे चल के मिलेंगे साए बहार के, रुक जाना नहीं तू कहीं हार के, कांटों पे चल के मिलेंगे साए बहार के, ओ राही ओ राही ओ राही ओ राही, सूरज देख रुक गया है तेरे आगे झुक गया है, सूरज देख रुक गया है तेरे आगे झुक गया है, रुक जाना नहीं तू कहीं हार के.
Wonderful, 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 ma'am.
Wonderful. Beautiful
That's
word.
that's wonderful, ma'am.
We don't have to stop. We have to keep going. That is
This
the
is
song.
for the educationists, all of us, ma'am. We have to keep on moving.
going on. No problem. Whatever the struggles are there.
That's a perfect song according to the situation, ma'am.
Thank you.
Nidhi, ma'am.
Mr. Chandok, this is the only reason why I always hesitate coming to your show.
My God, my God, my God, my God.
We are not.
Then that is a compliment.
That's
I am
one
not,
thing.
no, ma'am, I am not able to
I'm
understand.
a music
Ma'am, one thing,
lover.
ma'am, one
I'm
thing,
a
ma'am.
music lover and ardent fan of
I'm-
Kishore Kumar, but
Yeah.
I cannot sing, and I always pray to God, कि अगले जन्म में जैसे बोले मुझे बिटिया है तो करियो ही करियो, लेकिन गाने वाली करियो.
Achha. So when you were speaking, I thought it is a compliment or comment. I'm not able to understand that. Sometimes you're not able to understand that. That is the reason I don't want to come, because you don't.
You asked me to sing at the end, which I can't do.
So, ma'am, you can start with.
Your voice is so sweet.
That's so sweet of you to say. तो मैं एक दो लाइन बस एक कविता ही सुना देती हूँ जो
Sure, ma'am. Sure,
बहुत
ma'am.
ही
Sure, ma'am.
मोटिवेशनल है. लहरों से डरकर नौका पार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की हार नहीं होती. नन्ही चींटी जब दाना लेकर चलती है, चढ़ती दीवारों पर 100 बार फिसलती है. मन का विश्वास रगों में साहस भरता है, चढ़कर गिरना गिरकर चढ़ना न अखरता है. आखिर उनकी मेहनत बेकार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती.
Wonderful, man. Wonderful. That's wonderful, ma'am. But कभी अलविदा ना कहना, आप कभी मना ना करिएगा, मैम. आप poem, you can say 2 lines afterwards also, and when the next episode you're coming, ma'am. But don't refuse. For the sake of singing song, please, we do not want to leave. We don't want to leave that such a commendable person, such a person who can give thoughtful views. Abhishek sir, your turn.
Yes, sir.
You are the youngest one. सबसे पहले तो आपको करना चाहिए था.
सर थैंक यू सर. मैं भी रुक जाना नहीं कहूँगा. एक्चुअली हर बार मैं वही कहता हूँ. ज्योति मैम ने इस बार कह देता हूँ. तो ज्योति रुक जाना नहीं कहीं तू हार के, कांटों पे चल के मिलेंगे साहे बहार के, ओ राही ओ राही ओ राही ओ राही. थैंक यू एवरीवन.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. We are getting so many good contestants for the Indian Idol. The special for the educationists for sure. So many good singers we have got. Arindam sir is one of them, and now the time has come for the showstopper. The best song you're going to listen is from Trilok sir, and after listening to him, you will surely say that he will go to the finals and win the trophy for sure. From my side, already given, anonymously given to him, sir. I'm a die-hard fan of your singing, sir.
Something else today. I'm not singing a song.
Sir, I am a die-hard fan of yours, sir. Especially for the singing, sir. You and Rathore, sir.
Yeah.
Good. You want to listen to you.
I'll sing. I always sing the bhajans actually, So I'll sing 2-3 lines. So Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Govind Madhav, Hare Murari, He Nath Narayan Vasudeva, Shri Krishna Govind, Hare Murari, He Nath Narayan Vasudeva, Shri Krishna Govind. That's it. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, wonderful, sir. Sir, I am a die-hard fan, and I love you, sir.
Today, I might tell you the secret. Today I had my 2 of my RTCs, root canals. It's paining like anything, but I made a commitment to you, so I'm here. Eating in between, I've taken twice the painkiller, and I'm still here because I think commitment is something we need to live up.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Through examples, not by just preaching them, So I thought I have to be there. I can't make an excuse to you.
Yeah. Sir, your singing, thank you so much, sir. But this singing is from the Jammu only or before that also? कुछ जम्मू में ऐसी कोई खुशबू है कि जम्मू को जितने भी लोग मुझे मिलते हैं सब good singers होते हैं, sir. ऐसा क्यों है? कि आप पहले से singing करते थे, sir?
And Jammu, the principals are like, they're not just principals. They don't wear that tight jacketed thing that we have to be principal with the grumpy face. All principals there, the kind of atmosphere is wonderful over there.
Yes.
Arindam, I heard him for the first time. Amazingly good singer. Mr. Rajesh is like a Kishore Kumar of Jammu. Then Mr. Sarkar, there were so many people in my time.
Yes, sir.
Everybody was a singer altogether.
Sure, sir. That's wonderful, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Out of the pain also, you took medicine and joined us. Had a wonderful time, sir. It was pleasure having you over here, sir. Sorry, sir. You have put your hand on the Sorry so much, sir. Thank you, Arindam, sir. Abhishek, sir. Trilok, sir. Nidhi, ma'am. Jyoti ma'am, I had a wonderful time with you.
you
I
so
hope
much.
you all
Thank you so
enjoyed.
much.
Hope to see you.
Absolutely.
Nidhi ma'am, please, you don't sing a song. You can go for the poem or anything. But
Oh,
please,
her two
kabhi
lines
alvida
are
na
so
kehna.
motivating, you know. Our
Sorry,
lines
sir.
are most motivating lines, you know.
Yeah,
हार नहीं मानने की जरूरत. We don't have to give up at any point of time.
right.
And Arindam, it was so good meeting you. Though it is
Thank
virtually,
you. Same.
I'll be
Thank you.
coming to
Thank you so
Jammu to
much.
see you now.
Surely we'll catch up.
Sir, we will catch up together, sir. Coming soon to Jammu. I'll tell you when we are going, sir. Thank you so much, Trilok sir. Okay, sir. Bye bye, sir.
Thank you so much.
Nice
Thank you,
meeting
Nidhi
you.
ma'am, Jyoti ma'am.
Everyone,
Thank
thank
you,
you,
Abhishek. Thank you so much.
I'll
one
share
thing
the
I want to
contact
add-
details with each other. I'll
One thing
contact
I
share the
want to
contact
say,
details.
uh,
Yeah.
Chandok sir, I want to say very truly, Lok sir said, whatever we are teaching, whatever we are preaching, we should ourselves follow that. So that is
Sure.
very important.
Very
Absolutely
Very
right. True, true,
So
true.
thank you, everyone. It was a nice
you.
learning, nice evening.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
I'm going out now.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.